All right, Kendrick Lamar Squabble Up music video dropped today, already at 2 million views. That song, most people knew it as Broccoli because it was the intro to Not Like Us. And it starts off in this green room.
Coordinated. I was stargazing. Life goes on.
And, it almost draws back to the Not Like Us video when you seen Kendrick also in that room most of that video. And he also had a lot of people dancing around him in that video as well. So we get more images of that in this video. He wearing his Dodgers cap. Again, the Dodgers just won the World Series. He got a song called Dodger Blue. The woman that sang the tribute to Valenzuela, the former Dodgers player, is also on the album. She's singing the Spanish hooks. Fernando Valenzuela. I hope I didn't mispronounce his name. If I did, forgive me. Also, you see the little boy wearing the 16 jersey and the freeway signs of Central Washington and Long Beach Boulevard. One of the exit signs on the California freeway. I don't know if that's the 10, the 405, or the 5. I'm sure somebody will, put it in the comments, right? So he has the young lady dancing. And remember, this is a Debbie Deb sample of Looking for the Weekend, which is a great sample. And I told people this. I said, this song gives me 80s vibes, but it gives me a Bay Area vibe. And guess what? I was not let down because in this video, Kendrick had he had the Bay in here right here. He had my guy, they brought me back to 2004, 2005, 2006 with Mac Dre, Keek the Sneak, Jack, Hustler, The Team, right? And you see, side shows and stuff like that is a big culture. The GNX, the Ford Mustang, the box Chevs, the heavy Chevys, the Caprice Classics, the big rims. Again, doing donuts. Tell me when to go. That go, right? So you knew the Bay was in this, just based how they came through, but also LA, right? I wasn't skipping over that part at all. So the next scene was like, the brothers of LA. Obviously, you see the red and you see Kendrick already had on the blue, right? So you got people throwing up different stuff, different sets, right, in LA, right? And this whole song is called Squabble Up. And I knew people was going to step to this GNX album. They was going to walk to it, especially LA. And some people going, wherever you at and you listen to this, you're going to have different dances. But I knew when I first heard this, people was, I think somebody say he got like Drakeo the Ruler flow, but you got to listen to people like Sugar Free, Keek the Sneak, guys that rap unorthodox. Even when they talk about Blueface, and how he rap off beat, he's not even the first person to rap like that. A lot of West Coast guys, and I'm sure y'all can name a bunch of other artists and stuff like that. But I think E40, the slick talking style over the beat, Sugar Free, the way he rap over beats. So
Deep enough.
I definitely got a Bay vibe. And again, this is what people was wearing in 2004, 2005. They was wearing tall tees just like this. They was wearing Vans, right? You had the Vans movement, long polos, long Rockaware polos, right? And then the bikes, the bikes and, putting foil on the rims and all of that, right? So that was definitely a drawback, right? You see him with the California license plate that say hyphy, right? Tell me when to go. Honestly, the first time I ever heard this song, I felt like it was a Bay Area song. Tell me when to go. That's especially when it start off with the breathing.
Um, Reincarnated.
That remind me of tell me when to go. Tell me when to go stupid, go dumb. And then he got a song in, I think it's the Peekaboo song where he's saying go stupid, some hilarious, something, like that. So, a lot of people don't know who Mac Dre is. They don't know who, a lot of them, especially the younger crowd. Now, this was I talked about this actually. The love and the hate from Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, except for it says hood love, right? And I talked about how when Kendrick said it's always been about love and hate. Now, let me say I'm the biggest hater, right? By the way, shout out, I'm not going to ignore that there's a very round peach with the shotty in the frame, which is, again, from an Ice-T cover, if I'm not mistaken. But going back to that hate and love, remember Kendrick said it's always been about love or hate. And let me say I'm the biggest hater. So I said people, when they think of that verse, that phrase, what he said, they're not thinking what I'm thinking. I'm thinking to do the right thing. So boom, he put that in the video. Right? So clearly we was on point with that. Right? This is all different culture in the segments, right? Squabble up, right? These are all reasons, in my opinion, why people, some reasons why people would, conflict involving women and guns, conflict involving love and hate or hood love, conflict over women, right? As these two brothers fight it out, one knocks the other out, and then the girl knocks him out. Right. And then you had a girl from the Not Like Us video. She's still in there dancing. So I noticed her immediately. She's the same girl from inside the store of Not Like Us. Right here.
Bitches go.
That's her right there. So she makes a return in the video. Right. Like I said, there's layers to this. You could get into as much as you want. He robs him after the girl knocked him out. Right. So the whole theme is squabble up. Right now, here you go with the Soul Train. And I'm sure there's something that you would have to have spelled out, or somebody's gonna have to do a crossword puzzle and match the letters. But that's what they used to do on Soul Train, right? So that was a callback to some culture, right? And then, of course, if you was around during this time, you remember these backdrops the girls used to wear. I feel like this video purposely went back to 2004, maybe before 2005-ish, maybe right before Kendrick blew up. I think I'm a year younger than Kendrick. And there you go with the LED belts. All of them got on the LED belt. And y'all won't forget that if you was around with the column and the heart airbrushed backgrounds with the shades and the knocker earrings and the braids. So, that was the look. That was the look at one point. That's what the girls used to rock. So I feel like Kendrick threw this back for whatever reason, because he's an 87 baby. He's sitting on his cover with an 87 vehicle. So you got a lot of new people listening to Kendrick, a lot of young people. So they may not understand all the references. Now, this says Jesus saves gangsters too. Now, remember, you could say there was gangsters in the beginning of the video, and also Jesus is going to appear later in the video. I haven't got to that part though, right? But let me go back. Or some Christ-like figure, right, with his hands outstretched. So that's this part. This kind of reminds you of like, people's basically like a prophet or someone who is, trying to bring people to God, right? So they're doing that whole thing. Right, you got the Jerry curls in the old school 80s. It could have been a time travel, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. Uh definitely time. There's definitely, by the way, the RBG flag, I didn't want to leave that out. I did notice that off the top. The red, black, and green flag. Again, Kendrick bringing you that history on Black Americans, right? On you run to Atlanta when you need a check balance, when he broke down the history of Atlanta in Not Like Us, right?
Balance, let me break it down.
So he broke down the history of, by the way, I wanted to say he's made a theme of performing in this room, almost like it's like he's being watched, like we all watching him. Cause he did the same thing on this Rich Spirit joint. Right. That's actually in 95, but he did a live performance on Saturday Night Live. And that was basically the theme, was that he was in a room being watched. Not watched, but within the box, in the cube. In your TV, right? Turn this TV off. Turn the TV off. Right? So that was Rich Spirit. That's off the Mr. Morel. So he's still in again, he's in the box. Literally. He's in the other dimension of the box. And he's still in that on Squabble Up. Then he's reading a book, by the way, that says How to Be More Like Kendrick for Dummies. Right? So he could be talking about, culture vultures, people that imitate his style. Then he shows love to the, to the Latinos, which is big in California. You see the Cortezes, the flannel shirts, that was definitely a salute to the Latinos that make up a lot of California culture, right? So then he's back in his Dodger Blue again. He made a song called Dodger Blue, right?
On sale till I silenced it.
Right. He said something and then he like looked off to the camera like unimpressed.
Tickets on sale till I silenced
Yeah,
it.
he said they was selling wolf tickets, right? He kind of rolled his eyes.
But I know that he popping it.
Right. Like they said it's up, but I know that they popping it. Then the CD spins and it says Nate Dogg. By the way, this is I think this was one of Nate Dogg's best. I think it was one of his greatest hits albums. But shout out to Nate Dogg, great vocalizer, legend. Then he has R.I.P. Now the interesting thing is that on one side he is mourning, and on the other side they're celebrating. So that could represent honestly the division in the city, right? Because someone's enemy might be someone's friend. And someone's retaliation may be someone's retribution, right? So I felt like it was a salute to the Latinos. But again, if he's telling a story of a complicated history, then boom, R.I.P. Why is he the only one on that side mourning? And then there's a little boy on a big wheel behind him, right? Which is then an ode to Menace to Society. When Kane was killed. By the way, I believe those are Jordan 3s. Those came out in like 87, 88, if I'm not mistaken. That's my year. The backwards Pistons hat. Pistons was one of the top teams at that time. But yeah, Menace to Society. Kane is moving on. He's moving out of South Central LA. He's moving out of the hood. And before he can move out, he's gunned down on his front lawn. And Kendrick has songs like that, like Promise That You'll Sing About Me, where, he's talking to his friend is talking to him and was like, and if I make it out, just promise, and then he gets shot down prematurely, right? So again, RIP. That's probably, again, representative of all the people he's lost, all the people that, his city has lost. But again, it can't be lost on you that one side is dancing, one side is mourning. Right. Then in the next scene, right, the next scene, you got the old school car on the hydraulics bouncing. Got some big girls in there. Then you got a dog. Then you got a little boy, almost like a remote control car playing with the remote, right? And what's this guy doing? Oh, okay. I don't think I noticed him when I first watched it. Like I did, but I probably didn't. Then you got a guy training a dog. Dog culture is definitely part of the hood. Pits and stuff like that. Fuck you niggas fed if you criminal. Hey, Doc, can I get a drop? I'm like, nigga, no. I like that part in the song when I first heard it. Hey, Doc, can I get a drop? I'm like, no. Right, so then you got the little boy playing with the hydraulic car. Then you have the Jesus photo laying up against the wall for $40 again. Jesus before the crucifixion in chains. And then you have perhaps a prophet, a disciple. Anytime someone has their arms outstretched like that, it could be interpreted as them, making a Christ-like pose, right? Think of the cross, the way Jesus was crucified, right? Arms outstretched, palms out. So anyway, there's that. It's like, also, Kendrick being an Israelite. Remember, once he said, I'm an Israelite, don't call me black no more, right? So this, this is what you would see, either from Israelites or someone with it, preaching it on the street, right? Like they do in LA and Harlem. Then you have Kendrick on the Black Panther side, right? Again, the orientation of where they're at. Kendrick made an album, the Black Panther album. He produced it. He had songs like King's Dead on there right before Chadwick Boseman passed away. He had songs with Future on there. He had some Bay Area type of songs on there like Paramedic. SZA was on there. All the Stars with The Weeknd, Remember, Looking for the Weeknd is the sample. So you think of Who Gonna Pray For Me? That's a Weeknd song, right? So boom, you got the Black Panther on one side, then you got Black Jesus on the other side. Don't let me know what the path. And he's still dancing, kind of like how he was dancing in Not Like Us, honestly. He had clowns behind him in this. I mean, you have to notice that he keeps, I feel like this is him like also expressing that he feels like the world is all watching. Because why does he keep performing in front of the three walls, right? If these walls could talk, he made a song called that, right? Then when he did these performances, he had all this stuff flashing in the back. Who you think they talking? Talking about us. Yeah, we still playing industry politics, right? So if you were to freeze frame all of the phrases he had on there, and then he have the light moving all crazy around him, then all of these like people moving, but you don't see them moving. It's just him. It's like shadow people, right? Right. So he's staying in these boxes, right? There's, even this containers, right?
Then they end
So there's something clearly that he's drawn on over and over again. This song was on the beginning
my babies.
of that song, right? And he was basically moving back and forth in between the dark. So Jesus saves gangsters too, right? That was the photo he had. And then this rollout jumps out and it says Compton Christmas Parade. So obviously we're exactly 1 month from Christmas. And I'm not really sure what that means yet. Could mean something soon. Maybe if you're from Compton, maybe you could speak about that parade. We have parades in New Orleans. Kendrick is going to New Orleans very soon. Very, very religious city. And that was it, man. So let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what y'all think about my breakdown of the video. Yeah, with that said, I'm out. It's the baddest brand in the land, CHAMPSIDE. Peace.